watch a movie, Mr. Rosen?
No, thank you.
Would you like to watch a movie, Mr. Phelps?
I prefer the theater.
Would you consider the cinema of the Ukraine?
Perhaps you'll choose one for me. Thank you.
A Huntington Beach man is facing federal charges tonight for his alleged role in the January 6th insurrection at the U.S. Capitol.
The 61-year-old was arrested at his home. Tonight, KCAL 9's Lori Perez has video you'll see only on KCAL 9 of the moment federal agents filled that neighborhood. Lori.
They were assault weapons, full body armor, like top and bottom, battering rams. Like it seemed like it was going to be something.
Security camera video shows the moment an FBI raid swiftly played out in this Huntington Beach neighborhood Thursday morning. It was just before 6 a.m. when a team of agents with shields, weapons drawn, descended on the home of Glenn Allen Brooks. A neighbor who did not want to be identified told us it's still stunning to watch.
It was actually kind of scary. I thought it was fake.
According to
Good morning, folks. It's 5 in the morning on a Saturday here, and I just can't go to sleep. I've got too much energy. I've got too much passion and fire burning in me. Why? Well, a quick Google search, or DuckDuckGo search in this case, reveals that we've got a lot of interesting activity going on with some alphabet letter agencies within our government that, let's just say, I think they've lost their way a little bit. And I'm going to get into exactly why I think that. And first, let's just start off with the Brooks charge summary. So, folks, this is a real document. And one thing I really want to point out before we even get into this, all right? Before we even get into this, you can go on the Department of Justice website, okay? And I know I'm going to have a lot of haters and a lot of doubters out there, but you know what? That's okay, because I don't make this channel for the likes, for the followers, for the clicks, for the popularity. Because guess what? Here's the unfortunate truth. Here's the unpopular truth. Popularity does not equate to morality. Popularity does not equal morality. How philosophical, right? When everything that we have going on in social media today, when we get our viewpoint, our perception of the world, from how many likes, how many comments, from how many subscriptions, from how many subscribes, from how much the YouTube algorithm or the Instagram algorithm or the Google algorithm thinks that people want to see your content. How do we know what's right or wrong anymore in the world? Especially when big tech, and we've seen this through other articles and stories out there like James Damore, but literally break their own search engine to filter out stuff that they think that you shouldn't see. So I have a question for you. If you were like me a couple years ago and you're searching for the truth on the internet, and all you get is what the big tech companies want you to see, how do you know you're looking at the truth anymore? What is truth? Defined by the internet, defined by TikTok, defined by YouTube, defined by the comments you see on YouTube? Because last I checked, they went from investigating Trump for almost 4 years for Russia collusion. Now they're after his supporters.
With all due respect, Senator, it sounds as if you want to lead the kind of charge that Senator Frank Church led in the 1970s, and in the process destroy the intelligence capability of this country.
I want to know who these people are and how they're spending our taxpayers' money. We were living in a democracy the last time I checked.
And banning everybody online who has any conservative leaning viewpoint. So, folks, this is why I start out with documentation. Robin M. Merriweather, U.S. Magistrate Judge. I didn't make that up. Date, 7/27/2021. Judge's signature. They decided to raid this man's home. Why? The criminal complaint is based upon these facts. See attached statement of facts. Okay, let's get into it. Statement of facts. The affiant, I don't know how to pronounce this. I'm not a lawyer, folks. Was a special agent with the Federal Bureau of Investigation, FBI, and had been so employed for approximately 6 years. Currently, however you pronounce this word, is tasked with investigating criminal activity in and around the Capitol grounds on January 6, 2021. Folks, I'm just going to say right here before we even get in further with this, it's time to get off of social media. I almost feel like talking on social media about anything that you do politically nowadays is just a bad idea. With the current, we'll just say, climate of our U.S. government, particularly the FBI right now. I would say let's not do their job for them. I'm just wanted to kind of throw that in there. Now, here's where I start to draw the line with a lot of this, because anybody that's had the unfortunate displeasure of trying to argue with me in the comment section and fail miserably because you don't have a foundation of truth to stand on, and when you don't have a foundation of truth to stand on, there is no backing your claim. It becomes opinion. I, backed by the Bible, have the foundation of truth to stand on. Now, as always with my channel, I take current events and I overlay biblical reference point, if you will, to what's going on. Let's start with the first most important thing out of all this. Not just, and again, I know different people are going to be watching this video, so stick along with me. Here you take a man and you may see, especially if you're not a fan of Trump's base or Trump's policies or even President Trump. He's a duly elected president, just like supposedly Biden is a duly elected president. On one hand, we have a president who was shrouded in Russian collusion. On the other hand, we have a president that's shrouded in election fraud. Slice it any way you want. That's what the bases see. When Trump was in office, we have an entire group of people, the FBI included, that wanted to sour and stain the man's presidency, that while he was in office, with Russian collusion, Ukrainian collusion, this, Muller Investigation that, Peter Strzok this, Lisa Page that, on and on and on and on for almost $20 million, $50 million of U.S. taxpayer money.
Stop it. Get some help.
And here comes the meme again. Right? So let's just pause. Isn't that fitting, folks? Isn't that fitting? I want to know who these people are and what they're doing with our taxpayers' money. We were living in a democracy last time I checked. Now, that was actually from the movie Mission Impossible. And I use that to kind of make a joke here. Here we have someone who chose to go to the Capitol. Now, here it's funny, right? The FBI is basically pressing trespassing charges and criminal disruption of official proceedings. Okay, let's just scroll through some of these evidence that they found. Guy getting out of his truck. Boy, man, he looks like a terrorist to me. People standing around in the building. More people standing around in the building. Taking pictures at the Capitol. I mean, I don't know. Is it against the law to take pictures at the Capitol? Because if it is, I guess I'm going to jail, because I went to the Capitol building a couple years ago and took lots of pictures on vacation. I mean, I didn't know that was wrong. Here we see the Trump terrorist insurrectionists storming the Capitol building with a bunch of police sitting around. Now, this is what I think is hilarious about this, folks, regardless of what side of the aisle that you're on, okay? They call these people insurrectionists. Now, if you look up the definition or history of what insurrection is, typically that means that you're armed with a gun, you're forcing your way inside of a building, and the intent is to take the building over. Now, by their own picture, and again, this is an official official DOJ document that's being used by the FBI to prosecute this guy. And I have to laugh at this because I'm like, how is it trespassing when there's literally like 12 police officers standing right there, and it doesn't look to me like they're arresting anybody. It just looks like they're standing around funneling the crowd through the building. I don't see people like that had broken through the door. They were just kind of let in. And again, to the credit, or to the, not necessarily theory, but to the argument that these people were let in. Well, guess what? This picture to me, like, How was it trespassing? Anyways, here he is again, folks. Identification. So, based on the foregoing, your affiant submits that there's probable cause to believe that Glenn Brooks violated this code, which makes it a crime to knowingly enter or remain in any restricted building or grounds without lawful authority to do so, and knowingly with the intent to impede or disrupt orderly conduct of government business. Now, this is the evidence that they have against them, and I really hope this guy's lawyer tears this up. Furthermore, the whole premise behind how the FBI even found him is where I start to draw the line, where it doesn't become funny anymore. Funny to me is comments on Breyer Tyler Cohen's page to the effect that we need 2 million Republicans to die so we can prove our point about COVID, right? I have love for these people in my own way because I know a lot of these people with these comments, they need help. Real talk, cheers to that. Don't tell them that they realize they might start taking the vaccine and wearing masks. Like, you people need Jesus in your life. Honestly. Comments like this, and the host, Brian, you make absolutely no effort to condemn or to try to throttle any of these comments whatsoever. Your channel is essentially to just foment the propaganda coming from the mainstream media to push a narrative, and it's irresponsible. You're irresponsible. But aside from that, I say that I deviate from my main point to make a point that this I understand. What you see in front of you, I understand, and it's not surprising to me because of the spiritual condition that this arises from. A lot of these people are not saved. They have a lot of bitterness. They have a lot of fear. They essentially, some of them I would go so far as to say that they worship God as their government. They don't understand the Bible. They don't understand the principles of the Bible. They don't understand the foundations of faith and what God will even have our leaders of this nation do. And I've talked about this in a few of my other videos, and I keep saying this. Our nation is run by angry children. We need to back away from the politics because of what it's doing. They're politicizing COVID, but let's go back to the actual issue here. The man was turned in by his own church prayer group. Now, this is where I would start to draw the line at this is no longer about politics, and the people that turned this man into the authorities, let's just pause here for a couple seconds, and I'm going to put some scriptures on the screen. These are the biblical foundations that we have violated here. Number one, don't take your brethren, don't involve the courts for an issue that you have with your brother or sister in the church. And if there is some offense that was caused by your brother or your sister, especially if we're all one in the body of Christ, according to Galatians 3:28, and according to Matthew, this is how we should deal with offense. But that's not what this person did. What this person did was essentially take their brother or sister, their brother in this case, I firmly believe that more than likely that this was a woman who got offended in his church, who turned him in. That was part of his prayer group. And what we have to understand is number one, these people are not crooks and liars. This website and other websites like it that are basically cheering for this guy's destruction, I don't think you all understand the precedent that we're setting, not only in our judicial system, because we're creating a two-tier justice system where we're saying, hey, it's okay for a lot of the Antifa and Black Lives Matter to burn down everything, go to Target, loot, steal, actually commit crimes. But if a MAGA guy walks into the Capitol building where everyone's let in or misguided or there's some mass confusion because the doors are open, they all need to go to jail and spend some hard time behind bars. We're not going to, but all the, actual insurrection with an autonomous zone in Seattle, Washington, that's the summer of love out there. We're just going to go and break that up and remove the concrete barriers. And, yeah, a lot of the people keep getting picked up, arrested, released, arrested, released, arrested, released, but we're going to give most of them prosecutorial, if I can even say the word right, agreements. That's where I start to draw the line at this, is because not only was this man sold out by his own church prayer text group, which is completely wrong, and not only that, but everything that I've followed so far, which let me kind of go back to it here. This is a post here that talks about the biography of Glenn Allen Brooks. And this was written by Mary O'Brien on August 2nd, 2021. I found this very interesting because it kind of goes into the man's background, right? So you think, oh my gosh, this guy's a monster. Well, no, not necessarily, right? So here we have his background, his biography, right? So 1983, 1985, he attended San Diego University. He worked for Rank Video Services, Contractor State License Board, and then we get to the part in 2016 where he started volunteering in Harvest Christian Fellowship, FOH Children Ministry, as a sound engineer. So, based upon looking up which church that he belongs to, which is this one, and how far they are away from Huntington Beach, California, because this church is based in Irving, California, I have a good idea, or could make an educated guess, that this is where he went to church to. And if that is the case, this church really needs to enforce Matthew, because an offense occurred here between members of a prayer text group. And now some of you might be saying, well, he got what he deserved, or he's a criminal, or he's an insurrectionist, or, oh, well, listen to, Ben Sharpio, your GOP overlord, for advice. First of all, to a lot of you who think that this is okay, I think we all just need to kind of take a couple of collective steps backward. And I ain't going to say it, but there was a phrase in Tropic Thunder by Tom Cruise. Okay? We all just need to calm down and back off politics.
This is the last Grossman. Who is this?
This is Flaming Dragon!
Oh, okay, Flaming Dragon. First, take a big step back. Did you find out who that was? Yeah, go.